Deuteronomy 1. What are we doing here, exactly? I mean that seriously. Genesis was about the genesis of the world and the first people. And Exodus was about a bunch of people exodusing to the promised land. Leviticus was about the crazy rules and mini rules and sub-mini rules, which is why I assume it's called Law-viticus. Fight me on that. And Numbers was about numbers. But Deuteronomy is not a continuation of the Israelites' journey. So, what is it? Does anyone even know what a Deuter is? Maybe we'll find out. These are the words Moses spoke to all Israel in the wilderness east of the Jordan, that is, in the Arabah, opposite Suf, between Paran and Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizahab. It takes 11 days to go from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea by the Mount Seir road. In the 40th year, on the first day of the 11th month, Moses proclaimed to the Israelites all that the Lord had commanded him concerning them. This was after he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon, and at Edrei had defeated Og, king of Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth. That was a long way of saying Moses is gonna talk. He's gonna talk for a while. Some people have famous last words. Moses is gonna have a famous last entire book of the Bible. Horeb, by the way, is another name for Sinai. But now we know where Moses is and where we are in the story. It's been 40 years of wandering through the desert. He's about to speak to all of his people in Jordan, where everyone's camping out. And he's speaking after a bunch of military victories. Because after 40 years of traveling and fighting, everyone loves hearing a lecture. This speech is the only thing standing between them and dinner. And it turns out, Moses is never gonna shut up. East of the Jordan, in the territory of Moab, Moses began to expound this law, saying, "The Lord our God said to us at Horeb, 'You have stayed long enough at this mountain. Break camp and advance into the hill country of the Amorites. Go to all the neighboring peoples in the Arabah, in the mountains, in the western foothills, in the Negev and along the coast, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon as far as the great river, the Euphrates. See, I have given you this land. Go in and take possession of the land the Lord swore he would give to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to their descendants after them.'" There is something messed up about saying, "See all this land? It's yours now. I gave it to you as a gift. You just have to go in and kill everyone who lives there because they think the land is theirs. But they're wrong, and they're gonna die now. Have fun with your gift." At that time I said to you, "You are too heavy a burden for me to carry alone. The Lord your God has increased your numbers so that today you are as numerous as the stars in the sky. May the Lord, the God of your ancestors, increase you 1,000 times and bless you as he has promised. But how can I bear your problems and your burdens and your disputes all by myself? Choose some wise, understanding, and respected men from each of your tribes, and I will set them over you." These people have no idea how many stars are in the sky, because it's way more than a few 100,000. By several orders of magnitude more. This is not a science book. And God wants to increase the people 1,000 times? That would be about 603 million people in the desert, at least over time. And those would just be the men. We just finished the book of Numbers and these people still don't know how to count. By the way, there are roughly 15 million Jews in the world right now. That's like a 25-fold increase since back in the day. Not 1,000-fold. Not even close. Just gonna put that out there. But okay, Moses wants everyone to select some leaders to act as judges. Not women, because what do they know? Am I right? No, I'm wrong. I'm so very, very wrong. But sexism in the Bible is a given. Who will be the guys they pick to settle their fights? Are they gonna vote? It sounds like they're gonna vote, which means there will totally be some insane Republicans in the mix who just know how to get attention but have no discernment skills. It'll just be a whole bunch of right-wing activist judges who do whatever they want without any regard to any sense of moral decency. You know what's really messed up? Moses makes it sound like he came up with the judicial system. At that time, I said to you, except no! In Exodus 18, it's his father-in-law Jethro who comes up with the plan. Moses is just taking credit because he knows damn well that none of you remember Exodus 18. Pepperidge Farm remembers. You answered me, what you propose to do is good. So I took the leading men of your tribes, wise and respected men, and appointed them to have authority over you, as commanders of thousands, of hundreds, of fifties, and of tens, and as tribal officials. And I charged your judges at that time, hear the disputes between your people, and judge fairly, whether the case is between two Israelites, or between an Israelite and a foreigner residing among you. Do not show partiality in judging. Hear both small and great alike. Do not be afraid of anyone, for judgment belongs to God. Bring me any case too hard for you, and I will hear it. And at that time I told you everything you were to do. I would love to know what disputes these judges thought were too hard, that they needed to take it up to the next level. Because I sincerely hope there were some really petty things in the mix. Like someone borrowed a lawnmower that he thought he could have all summer, and the other guy wants it back now, and it gets sent up to Moses, and Moses is like, what the hell, people? Why are all of you wasting my time? Whatever. How about everyone dies? Because Moses is just settling every dispute with the death penalty. Then, as the Lord our God commanded us, we set out from Horeb and went toward the hill country of the Amorites, through all that vast and dreadful wilderness that you have seen, and so we reached Kadesh Barnea. Then I said to you, you have reached the hill country of the Amorites, which the Lord our God is giving us. See, the Lord your God has given you the land. Go up and take possession of it, as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, told you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Then all of you came to me and said, let us send men ahead to spy out the land for us and bring back a report about the route we are to take and the towns we will come to. Moses is reminding everyone of the only interesting things they've ever done. These are not things we need to jog our memories about. They're in the Bible. We remember the spies. They were in Numbers 13 and 14. It wasn't that long ago. The idea seemed good to me. So I selected 12 of you, one man from each tribe. They left and went up into the hill country and came to the valley of Eshcol and explored it. Taking with them some of the fruit of the land, they brought it down to us and reported, it is a good land that the Lord our God is giving us. Well, 2 of them said that. 10 of them said they should not invade because the people over there seemed strong. And then God murdered those guys. And here's Moses saying, remember I sent those 12 dudes and they came back and said everything was great? And the whole audience is like, yeah, sure. That's totally how it happened. Don't worry. Moses is gonna remind them about those 10 dudes, just so everyone knows what happens when you question religious authority. But you were unwilling to go up. You rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, the Lord hates us. So he brought us out of Egypt to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us. Where can we go? Our brothers have made our hearts melt in fear. They say the people are stronger and taller than we are. The cities are large, with walls up to the sky. We even saw the Anakites there. Then I said to you, Do not be terrified. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God, who is going before you, will fight for you, as he did for you in Egypt, before your very eyes, and in the wilderness. There you saw how the Lord your God carried you, as a father carries his son, all the way you went until you reached this place. Well, they thought all that because 10 of their leaders said that, and the whole point of picking leaders is that you're willing to go along with what they say. If God overrides their advice, then you don't need the leaders. And yet, here's Moses condemning everyone for listening to their leaders, even after he just said, I want you to pick your leaders. In spite of this, you did not trust in the Lord your God, who went ahead of you on your journey, in fire by night and in a cloud by day, to search out places for you to camp and to show you the way you should go. When the Lord heard what you said, he was angry and solemnly swore, no one from this evil generation shall see the good land I swore to give your ancestors, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He will see it, and I will give him and his descendants the land he set his feet on, because he followed the Lord wholeheartedly. Well, they had good reason not to trust the dude feeding them bad advice. They were getting first-hand knowledge from guys who had been there. Also, how come Joshua just gets ignored here? He and Caleb told everyone the land was fine, even though it wasn't. God literally forgot one of the two guys who lied on his behalf. So much for loyalty. Because of you, the Lord became angry with me also, and said, you shall not enter it either, but your assistant, Joshua son of Nun, will enter it. Encourage him, because he will lead Israel to inherit it. And the little ones that you said would be taken captive, your children who do not yet know good from bad, they will enter the land. I will give it to them, and they will take possession of it. But as for you, turn around and set out toward the desert along the route to the Red Sea. Moses is so mad at these people for making him look bad in front of God. I love it. Notice he doesn't mention how God was furious at him because he struck a rock. That was a big deal not that long ago. Like, so big Moses is gonna die because of it. We spent chapters on that. But here's Moses blaming everyone else for his problems. And look, Joshua got a mention. Not as the spy who gave them the information God wanted them to hear, but as an assistant, which is like referring to your wife as your girlfriend. I mean, sure, but there's a little more to it than that, and it's kind of important. Moses isn't done telling these people how mad he is about something that happened a while ago, while hoping they forget the real reason God's angry with him. Then you replied, we have sinned against the Lord. We will go up and fight, as the Lord our God commanded us. So every one of you put on his weapons, thinking it easy to go up into the hill country. But the Lord said to me, tell them, do not go up and fight, because I will not be with you. You will be defeated by your enemies. So I told you, but you would not listen. You rebelled against the Lord's command, and in your arrogance you marched up into the hill country. The Amorites who lived in those hills came out against you. They chased you like a swarm of bees and beat you down from Seir all the way to Hormah. You came back and wept before the Lord, but he paid no attention to your weeping and turned a deaf ear to you. And so you stayed in Kadesh many days, all the time you spent there. Yes, I also remember the time God forsake them. It was hilarious. They thought God would protect them, but God held a grudge. So God said, nope, I hope you all die. And you lived, but barely. Good times. Guess what? That is it. We're done with chapter 1, but not even close to done with Moses whining about his life. He's gonna keep doing this for a while. Because, spoiler, he's not gonna die until the end of this book. And if you know anything about angry old guys on their deathbeds, it's that they're gonna air all their grievances until they physically cannot. By the way, to answer a question I posed at the beginning of this video, Deutero means two, and nomos means law. So Deuteronomy means the second law, which is a fancy way of admitting this book will be very repetitive. And I promise, if you look in the comment threads, there are some very annoying people saying all of this because they didn't watch this video all the way through.